This is a Knaus Boxstar 600. It's a 6-meter vehicle. It's in a really funky color. In fact, this is a limited edition color. They're only doing this for the 60th anniversary special editions. So you'll only be able to get this, I think, for 1 year. But it does look fantastic, especially on these alloy wheels. It's got the 140 horsepower diesel engine, 2.3 litre. And we'll take a stroll around the outside first of all. There's some quite neat thinking with this one. Let's go right on round. Now on the outside here, you've got things like the access for the cassette, for the toilet. This one over here allows you to plug in to 240 volts. So if you're in a campsite that has 240, you've then got 240 ring main on the vehicle. But where it gets quite neat is back here. If we open this up, what they've done is you've got a double bed, which you'll see much better when we go inside in a moment. But what is clever is they're very aware that people use these as multi-purpose vehicles. So you can take all of this out and the framework that it sits on, and that opens this whole thing right out for storage. So if you just want to go out for a day and take your mountain bikes, that kind of thing, you can even lift out these little panels down underneath here, so you've got loading all the way through. And that means it makes it super practical. It's great as a motorhome, but it's also great as a practical vehicle for days out as well. That up there on the back is the winding handle for the awning. I'll show you that on the side. Let's close that one back up. So that is up there. And then if we come right around here, here's a great colour, that, isn't it? We can open up the door and head on in. There we go. There's a little button down here, power to step out, and in we go. Now up at the front you've got these swivel seats. Again, these are embossed with the 60 years Knaus logo because it is the 60 year special edition. They've got the arms that drop down so that when you're driving you've got the comfort of that. And then up here it's just the standard kind of display. It has the sat nav on here as well. That's also a reversing camera. And that little fella up there that lifts up is actually a head-up display. You can lift that little bit there up. It gives you things like the speed and that kind of information that you can see right in your eye line, which is quite neat. 6-speed manual gearbox on this one, and then you've got power sockets. So that's a standard 12-volt socket, and you've got USB up here as well, which is neat. So you can drop your phone in over here out of the way and charge it up. And as we head on back, what I do like about this one is this very light finish. It's very smart, very modern, very contemporary. I think that it's great. You've got hatch up above here, so you can get some ventilation and so forth. And you've also got storage overhead just here. This, of course, is all storage along in places like this as well. And back here, this one's actually got seat belts. You can see it tucked away in there. And what you can do with these is you can put a little lever down here and slide that out so that people have just got a little bit more elbow room when they're sat there. And then, of course, when you're parked and using the vehicle for accommodation, you can slide that back out of the way and have more room down here, which is rather neat. And the other thing about this, you can see the little logo here. It has actually got ISOFIX mountings as well, so you can put a child seat on there, which is excellent. You can make this into a bed if you want to. The table drops down. That's why that leg is there to support it. You can take that out when you're not using it. But that drops down, and then with that seat there slid all the way back there, you've got a single bed across there. And then on the other side, in fact, let's slide that one back again. There we go. This is your kitchen area. So you've got a 2-burner hob, and then underneath, these are drawers along like this, all soft close. So masses of room to tuck stuff away. And I do like the lighting that you've put into places like this. I think that's really neat. Sink is underneath there. And then up here, you've got things like central heating control is there. And this is a monitoring system. So it's giving you things like tank levels and battery state and all that kind of stuff is all monitored from there. And if we move across here, storage up in places like this, and the fridge, that's back here, which is a pretty decent size. And then again, more storage down in places like this, and even tucked into little corners like this, which is neat. On the other side then is the toilet compartment. Again, lovely lighting, and I think it's really good. And that will pull out to give you a shower, like so. There's a curtain, in fact, as well that will come round, so you can just protect the woodwork and that kind of thing in there if you want to. And then back here, this is the double bed. So this is the section that we saw from outside. Those are the back doors. You can see they've all got screens on them, so you can have fly screens or night screens. And the same with the one up above. Load of storage again up in places like this. But this is what gives it the duality of purpose, because if you're out spending a weekend or a week or whatever you want to do in the vehicle, you have that made up as a permanent bed. But if you're at home and you're just going out mountain biking or whatever, you can take all of that out, chuck your bikes in here, and you're good to go. These little lights, you've got little touch things on the back here, so they light up like that. Same on the other side, so you've got reading lights all the way around. And in fact, even with these, you'll see they've tucked in little USB ports. I don't know if you can see it just there. So there's plenty of charging for your phones. But it's all rather nice, isn't it? Let's come right back here. That one there, incidentally, that's just a master control, so you can turn the lighting off on some of the major areas like the toilet. You can just switch the whole thing on and off from there. And the other thing you've got here, these are, again, power sockets. So that's a 12-volt socket, and you've got a 240-volt socket. I don't know how you can see that. There we go. So that allows you to plug in, once you're plugged into the campsite with a 240-volt, then you've got power into the vehicle. So there we go. I think that looks really great. Let's go have a sit up here. And I will say thanks to Nick Whale Motorhomes. They've organised this tour for me, and huge thanks as ever to you guys for watching. We'll catch you on another one of these very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.